most of lockdown.
Oh,
The end of lockdown.
how fitting that we should have an impromptu cocktail night and it will fall on the end of lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is our little celebration.
Yes.
I'm glad.
We can't have anybody at home, but we can have people in store.
Just so much delay. Beautiful. Well, lockdown time. What are we doing?
Drinking.
Drinking what?
Yeah, this is going to be a bit of an informal one this week. The reason we chose to do cocktails was because
We need a cheering up.
we needed cheering up. We couldn't decide what product to do. We thought we wanted to do a couple of different spirits, but
Stop doing it.
trying to get all the
Keeps moving
spirits,
in screen.
trying to get all the spirits, you know, to match up is a bit tricky. But we thought,
Hey,
"Screw
Liz."
it, let's do cocktails.
Let's.
And we've done this before for private tastings,
Yes.
which me and Eva held, which went really, really well.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd do it again.
Yippee!
Now, for everyone at home, we had some extra tasting cups, so we will be actually using the exact same cocktails that you were drinking at home.
Yeah.
Which is why we've got our little
Hi, Josh.
tasting packs. Now, most of the two of the cocktails do actually contain juice, so citrus juice, which has been double filtered, but it will need a good shake before.
Shake, shake, shake.
before.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty.
Russ, we haven't actually planned a full rundown of what order things are going in, so I was just going to explain. The other thing is that don't pour your cocktails straight away. I know it might be tempting. Give them a really good shake, pour half of it out, and then shake it again. Because it
Gives
helps
more
to,
space.
helps to aerate the cocktail and gets you a better texture. So we've got
Hello, Carmen.
a Shiraz Gin Sour,
Yippee!
which we're going to start with.
Yeah.
Then we're going to move on to a Bobbie Burns, which is a whiskey cocktail. And then we're going to finish it off with the Pierce de Resistance, which is our spicy ginger margarita.
Nice. Why are we doing them in that order, Luke?
Well, number one, the ginger margarita is so spicy we couldn't. It has to go. It's pretty spicy and it can wreck your palate. Got to do it last. And then I realised that it was actually the margarita was invented last. So we're actually doing them in chronological order of when
They
these
turn
come-
up on the cocktail scene.
Exactly.
Yeah, nice.
Now, I'm not going to say when they were invented, because none of these cocktails have a confirmed invention date. And much like a lot of traditional cocktails, you'll notice that
Hello, Grace.
there's actually a lot of speculation about when things were,
And who actually did.
and yeah,
Now, what sort of glass should we drink this?
any glass you like.
Looks not fussy.
Shake, 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 shake.
Hello, Jen, and happy birthday, Jen.
Happy birthday, Jen.
John Seabrook, hello from the Hunter Valley.
Oh, the accurate one.
The accurate one.
Hello, John, the accurate one.
He is single-handedly keeping down the mouse plague.
The mouse
Thank
plague.
you.
He is. All the cats are.
Cat. Right at that.
Now, if you haven't had these in the fridge, you can put them on ice, but they will dilute pretty quickly. They are already pre-diluted, so that they are proper drinking strength. Just
Proper
because-
drinking
Well, we
strength.
didn't want to send out undiluted cocktails and then
I've just wasted my Scottish accent on the
Have
gin
people-
sour. Forget I said that, people.
have people drink it straight and think it's too aggressive or unbalanced. So,
Yeah.
So, what have you put in this one?
so this is a traditional, what's called a traditional sour. So there's, as most people know about whiskey sours, but just because they became popular pre-prohibition, but almost there's a huge portion of the cocktail recipes that we have today are almost all the same, and they're all based around the sour formula, which is 1.5 shots of spirit with a shot of lemon or lime juice and half a shot of sugar syrup. Now, traditionally that was not sugar syrup, it would have been a sugar cube that was put in a glass, but it was basically to wash down your liquor, you put a lemon juice with a bit of sugar.
Yeah.
And you're going to publish this recipe somewhere, Luke?
Absolutely. And they will be posted in the event page. Anyway, so yeah, so it's just a shot and a half of gin,
Yeah.
a shot of lemon juice, and half a shot of sugar syrup. Now,
How does it get that colour? It's gin.
Shiraz Gin.
Now, the reason we chose to use the Shiraz Gin
Yeah.
was because
We
when
had we had
number
a
one, we've done lots of Shiraz Gin tasting over the last couple of years, so over the last year or so. So we've got lots of it around.
we had it open.
We had it open. We've been buying it in bulk. It's ridiculous. So, and I remember that one of the first things I was sort of like going over our origins of when we were first introduced to certain things, and I remember that one of the first things that really surprised me was the guys before Pillars serving Shiraz Gin with
Yeah.
lemon.
Ah. Oh yeah, because it is
And
quite popular.
And everyone who, when it first came out, heard that was like lemon and Shiraz. What? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
But it works so well because the lemon, the citrus acid and the, you know, juicy,
Yeah, right.
sugary grape juice, like, bounce off each other. So it kind of made sense to go in a sour, which is just spirit lemon.
Okay.
So yeah.
So we make this with,
Bloody Shiraz gin,
yep,
lemon juice, sugar syrup.
that's very, very complicated. Even I can
So
remember
yeah,
that.
3 ingredients. And if you don't have sugar syrup, you can just use sugar if you are willing to do it.
Christine's on a booze break. Heavens.
Who is?
Christine. Well done.
And it isn't called a sour for nothing.
Wakes the palate up though.
As I was about to say, yeah, that's the other thing. A sour is a really good cocktail to start for that because it just
Brightens you up.
Once you finish it, you're salivating. Some of the lemon juice and the sugar.
Delish.
Oh, the comments were showing up on my computer. I was like, how's Vivian seeing all these? But I've got them now. Yeah, we're starting with the Shiraz Gin Sour.
So, a bit unconventional, but it's a basic traditional cocktail.
Made with untraditional stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that more than I thought I would.
Is it the right texture? Is it the right strength? Is it too strong, too weak?
I think it's quite citrusy, but I like it.
I can only taste lemon. I think
That's true.
that's all I can taste.
Yeah, I can't taste the Shiraz Gin
Can't
much.
taste the Shiraz.
I can. Real positive ever.
I'm just being honest. I'm not, I'm not.
So do you think you should put more Shiraz Gin in it? Or
I mean, it's a possibility. That's the other thing is that all of these cocktails, because they had to make, we have to make it, to send them out, they have to be made in a batch.
yeah.
So they've got to be really consistent. So
Yeah.
sticking to the recipe. The other thing is all of these cocktails have been made with the traditional dilution rate of 30%, which is the approximate dilution rate you get from champagne. So yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I'm thirsty. Where do we want to be drinking now?
I'm drinking it in a bar, first drink of the evening. It's a bit sort of moody.
I think this is a get to the bar, have a drink while you decide where you're going tonight.
This is when you say,
So what's the plan, gang?
can gin and sour.
Oh, can gin sour. We're doing some research on Google searching questions, and there was some really hilarious questions about gin. Our favourite, of which was, is gin and gin rummy the same thing?
Yeah, so so look out for, we're going to have an FAQ section on the blog and stuff soon, and we're going to answer such gripping questions as
Can
can
gin sour?
gin and tonic, which is one of the questions that people ask.
Indeed.
So maybe we'll do can gin and sour.
Indeed.
Can't do it.
Now, I would suggest to everyone at home, you might need a palate cleanser, so a big glass of water might be too much for me today.
Yeah. Or a beer for John.
Incredible.
Very
What are
nice,
we moving on to now?
Oh, our favourite.
Your favourite.
No, it was voted as a store favourite actually.
By who?
Me and Eva.
You know,
Um,
general
Eva and
General
I.
consensus.
Now
Two out of-
we're about
You
to
wait
move
till
on-
everybody else has left, and then you
Two
take a
out of
vote
six.
between two of
We
you.
go for this one's the one.
We're about to move on to the Bobbie Burns.
Bobbie Burns. Why is it called the Bobbie Burns?
It's named after the Scottish national poet Robert Burns.
Robert Burns. And why is it named after him?
Um,
Could he well Fred?
well, there's a bit of speculation speculation as to why it was named after him. He drank a lot of Scottish whiskey.
As Scots tend to do.
No, and popularised it and wrote about it. And so there's been whiskey bars and whiskies named after him
Yeah.
for years. People have known. There's people like Iran,
Yeah, they've got
from
them.
the Isle of Iran, who named one of their whiskies the Bobbie Burns.
The Robert Burns.
The
Yeah.
Robert Burns.
It's a very formal thing. Robert.
Robert Burns.
So yeah, and he's their national poet, and was always said to have a whiskey cocktail in it. And this is a very traditional whiskey cocktail.
So what goes in it, apart from whiskey?
So it is Scotch whiskey. You're not allowed to call it a Bobbie Burns if we substitute the Scotch, obviously. And then it's equal parts Scotch whiskey and sweet vermouth, and then a half a part of John Benedictine liqueur.
Yeah.
Oh, why Dom? Is that very Scottish?
Yes.
John's actually not Scottish, obviously, but it is a very old school liqueur that has been around for years and years. So, in terms of traditional cocktails, when they were trying to sweeten it up, throwing whatever liqueur they had in it, that was something that was around at the time.
There you go. There you go.
Indeed. The other good thing about this cocktail is that it's got the right balance of alcohol and sugar. That even once diluted, I put this in the freezer, and as long as your freezer's not turned up high, it won't freeze.
Yeah, okay.
So I put these in the freezer and forgot about them, and then at the end of the night, it's been still liquid, which is great. Also,
Or you could have it as a
doesn't have
Bobbie
any
Burns
juice
slushy.
in it. It's only got sweet vermouth, whiskey, and liqueur in it, so it lasts forever.
It smells very apple-y.
Red apple.
That's really interesting.
Like apple juice kind of apple.
I
Yeah.
think it's a combination of the herbaceousness of the John Benedictine and a bit of that.
So where did the Scots get Dom to make Bobbie Burns from?
Well, as I was saying, John Benedictine is
The
one of
shop.
the oldest liqueurs that has been around.
They ring us up and we send them some stuff.
A Wigs cellar.
Very medicine-y, Jen says.
It's medicinal.
She says medicine-y.
I think this is perfect for this kind of cold weather.
I like this.
Mm. None of the
Is
ingredients.
Ashley on?
I don't know. This is...
Anyway, Ash and James have had a cold. I think this would fix it. Well, a cold each. They're not just sharing one necessarily. Going halves in one. It is medicine in Jen. I think it would cure a multitude.
I don't think it's too medicinal though.
No.
As I say, I reckon it's perfect for this weather though.
Yum.
Yeah, to me, this is more like Carrot's first drink.
Oh, really? I think
First drink in winter.
this is my last drink of the day. I think this is my polish me off before I go to bed.
As I say, I've had this as the
And I
polish
can't.
off drink and it goes down pretty well.
Yep.
The other thing
How's
that
toothpaste afterwards though?
someone suggested to me is this would actually, if you had some left over in the bottle, you could put it into a hot toddy.
What's in a hot toddy?
So a hot toddy is rum and hot water, and then you add honey and a cinnamon stick and some cloves and some stones. So it's basically like a hot rummy tea.
I don't know why, but I thought hot toddies were very much a mix of lots of different spirits.
No, it's always just been rum and honey and hot water, bits of spices and stuff. But I dare say that would go.
But you could do that with hot water. That would be nice.
Yeah,
A warm one.
that in a cup of tea. And then it go down 3.
Yeah, okay.
See, first drink of the day. Also.
Thanks.
No, I'm
Well, like a
in
like a
bed.
ristretto corretto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Italians know something about getting started for the day.
Yeah.
No, I think that's an end of the day drink for me. I think that if it was my first drink of the day, I would
think
not
it depends
drink
on the
it.
day. I could drink these all night long.
Yesterday, that could have been your first drink of the day. It was such an appalling day.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. How did everyone suffer in lockdown yesterday?
Oh.
No, apparently, I was talking to a colleague down on the peninsula, and apparently he had a tornado. like actually rip up trees. He spent all day dealing with chainsaws going off and stuff. And of course the problem is that he didn't have any power until midday, and he couldn't get to his generator because, ta-da, it was in the garage. Why couldn't he get into the garage?
Tree fell.
No. Good guess.
Why?
Has electric doors.
Oh.
Power generator.
Whoops,
goes
so
out
easy.
and-
So the generator is going to be outside the garage.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Yeah,
so
anyway.
so
Apparently, like,
good luck to
Phillip
everybody.
Island, they're out of electricity until Sunday. Smith's Beach. Wow.
oh, Josh is saying maybe with a smoky or whiskey. Actually, that's a good point. Which whiskey did we use?
So. Oh no, we used the Ron Burgundy. So we used a blended Scotch whiskey. The reason we did that is because it was a non-offensive whiskey that didn't have too much.
Flavour.
Well, not just it wasn't too punchy, and it was just a good. It's a good blended Scotch. And the reason for that is some blended Scotches have a higher proportion of Islay smoky whiskey in there, and because we're sort of catering to
Yeah.
a multitude of different taste buds, we didn't want to put something too really strong.
But Josh, if you are interested in putting your if you are interested in putting your body and taste buds on the line and doing some tests and reporting back, we will listen with great interest.
We'll encourage that.
Yeah.
I would certainly encourage that.
So you added ice cream to it.
Yeah.
Was it good with an ice cube in?
Perfect. Beautiful. Do we have any last comments for Bobbie Burns?
I like it.
Yeah.
I also think if you wanted it a little bit sweeter, not that I think you do, but if you did, you did make the syrup.
Ooh.
This is reminding me though of the Negroni kind.
It's because of the herbalness. That's the other thing. John Benedictine is. It's got it's quite orangey in certain aspects, but it separates itself away from things like Grand Marnier because it's so herbal.
Yeah, okay. Right.
Yeah, and carries a lot of herbaceousness to it, which
Yes.
gives you that semi-bitter, digestive sort of
Yeah.
medicinal.
Josh has said, I've got some of that blended Islay from Berry Bros, like lentil syrup.
Good work.
Absolutely.
Yum, yum, yum.
Report back.
Yeah.
When you talk about things about power and all that, I heard one guy, I was out driving the van today, on the radio sort of saying, he got the generator out and realised he only had about 8 litres worth of fuel left, which wasn't going to get him very long. And he went to the local service station, but they couldn't pump it because they didn't have any electricity at all to pump it.
Ah.
So then he was ringing around to find out the nearest town that actually had both petrol and a petrol station and electricity.
Well, I can.
Or whatever.
Whoever's got a tank.
So it's like, it's all...
Oh.
Also, have tested this. If you don't have John Benedictine at home and you want something a bit softer and juicier, you can make it with Cointreau. So you can make that substitution. It just is a lot softer.
Yeah. Grand Marnier.
Or Grand Marnier would be really good because it's got.
Oh, what about the Cointreau Noir?
Well, if you can find it.
That'd be.
They don't make it anymore.
I think we've got some at
Cointreau
home.
Noir is too high in the ABV.
Oh,
So
okay.
then mix it with whiskey and vermouth.
Woohoo!
Whee!
That'll get this party started.
What do you mean too high?
Actually, I think that might get this party ended. That might just about
Pull the shoe off.
take you to bed.
I like it very much.
Nice. Any last
I
comments?
still love this. I also
I think we need a bagpipe and a fire.
You could drink this without ice. You could drink this on the rocks. You could drink this
Without bagpipes.
with straw,
With a funnel.
with a funnel, as I like to say.
With a funnel.
Yeah.
I've
Classy.
got funnel in that.
Let's
Now,
proceed to the
let
next
me just hang on for a minute.
Okay.
One's
Cleanse the
out.
palate. Cleanse the palate.
Now, we did think it would be fun to whip out the cocktail glasses for the margarita.
Andre.
And this one I didn't make as much as the other ones, so I made up a fresh batch for us here at Wigs
Ooh.
in a full-size book. And
Which is, what did we decide it was? 7.8 standard drinks or something?
yeah. So these this size 7.6
Luke spent a lot of time doing
Yeah, that's the other thing. A lot
year
of-
12 maths.
That's the other thing. A lot of the time in a bar when you're making a cocktail, they use a formula that's pre-made for cocktails, like based on how much liqueur or how much spirit goes in.
Like a
So-
ratio.
So it's pretty simple. The problem with packaging that to send out is that we legally have to provide ABV percentages and Australian standard drinks averages, which means calculating some very complicated maths, especially because the ginger margarita contains a portion of ginger bitters, which is approximately 0.9 of a mil in each drink. So that mathematics is quite complicated, and as someone who's not good with numbers, that took me slightly too long.
Better done before you drink the margarita than after.
Absolutely. Now that being said, you don't have to do this at home.
Yes, you do. You have to do it at home.
Apparently, Andy is critiquing that.
Who are you?
Andy, Josh's mate. He's coming here for a couple of
Is
tastes.
critiquing what?
Your math.
Well, you haven't got the original recipe, so I don't know what the alcohol percentage is.
When are the recipes going up?
I will post them after this,
Right.
after the event. Now, you don't have to do this at home, but what I'm going to do for the margarita is I will actually crack out a cocktail shaker.
Woo!
Why?
Because I can't do a cocktail video and not crack up. It feels wrong.
You're just a performer.
we
No
didn't
ice.
check all of the
Ice in?
cocktails.
Are we putting ice in?
It's already been diluted.
Alright.
So it's actually just about aerating.
Right.
Now, I was going to make all of the cocktails on the video and then realised that I would have to have 3 separate cocktail shakers
Just
and a
a
lot of
lot.
equipment sitting around. Just too much effort. Also, it's a lot of mess to be producing when I've already made the cocktail. But
Well, Luke was suggesting that I make one on screen, but maybe not. I don't make solid sounds.
That was last year's trick, wasn't it? Cocktail a week.
No, but we're still doing some cocktails.
yeah, we are still doing some cocktail videos here and there.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, we have created a good whiskey nutty one that we might post as well.
yeah, or
Yeah.
so a couple of weeks ago we made a cocktail for staff for non-pubs, and everyone has since asked for a recipe.
Yes.
So we're gonna have to do a cocktail video on that.
Darcy's taken particular ingredients home just in his one.
Oh, okay. We didn't get any. Must have been after we'd gone.
Yeah,
It's the minute we walked out the door, I started making cocktails.
yeah, there was a
Bad
siren
thing.
that went off.
What's the saying? Something about the mice will play.
When the cat's away.
Everyone hold up just because it is.
When the cat's away, the mice will make margaritas.
Yeah.
Cocktails.
Cocktails.
Indeed. So yeah, this is actually, it's funny because margaritas are pretty simple recipes. They're a more traditional version of a cocktail sour, which is called a daisy, in which you don't add any sugar. Normally you don't add sugar. That sugar is replaced by a liqueur.
Right.
Now, this is slightly different because we wanted to do something different to a traditional margarita. So we thought something like ginger would be fun. Lots of people like ginger. Not a lot of people are allergic to ginger, which is great.
I'm not.
So we made a traditional margarita. We added a little bit of ginger syrup, a little bit of ginger bitters, and a little bit of fresh ginger. So I think there's a possibility that our batch might be slightly more gingery than yours at home.
But it also makes it, I think, quite a wintry margarita, whereas
It makes it
margarita
a little bit
is
more
more of a
warming.
summery drink.
It definitely warms up a little bit, but
Whoa.
it does make it the most.
Ross and I'll have the small ones we're driving.
Oh.
Oh, I don't
Who's
know.
driving? You and me. I am.
So you'll have a big one.
Okay.
I got very confused. Liz said, Liz is loving the orange. And I was like, well, don't have the orange. And then it is. And then I realized you were bright orange. I got quite confused.
Okay,
Thank
give
you.
him
no,
a big
no.
one. Give him a big one. Give him
Yeah, Eva, that's for you.
Thank
I'll
you.
have a coupe.
Now these are my favourite coupe, so it's a bit upsetting that I'm not drinking from one this evening. But you know, sacrifices must be made.
In order to have a larger drink, it should be
So
said.
this is said, Jen said this is delicious.
Yeah. While we were making this, Vivian snuck a little taster of this home, and one of our great customers, Mel, got a little sample of it, and she's since ordered 2 of our 375ml bottles.
She did also supply the limes,
She did,
to be fair.
based on the fact that she supplied the limes that made the cocktail. So yeah. That being said, it's 2 shots of tequila, 1 shot of Cointreau, a quarter of a shot of ginger syrup, and a dash of ginger bitters, and however much fresh ginger you feel like.
All right, ready, set, go.
Woohoo!
See, I feel like this feels good for you. You know when you like need something to soothe the throat, like honey or like lemon,
Yep.
or
Yep.
kind of thing.
Yep.
Honey,
Feels
lemon, like lemon and ginger tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like that. for me,
Oh, hello,
it's
Ashley.
Champagne.
Ah.
Or gin and tonic.
Ash, if you haven't been on since the beginning, there's quite a few medicinal things here for your cold. But we're just discussing the fact that this would be good for a cold, I think, too.
Oh, yeah, sore throat.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this would be great for cold.
So when I first made this
Feeling no
last week, testing the recipe, we were like, we tasted it and I said, is it enough ginger or too much ginger? And we went, oh no, it's not too much. But we noticed that every sip, the ginger will build up.
Yeah, it gets spicier and
It
spicier.
gets spicier and spicier. So I'm
I
glad
did
I
say
didn't
that you
overdo
could
it.
have added more ginger. You're like, maybe not.
Well, as I say, making it for an audience as well. I don't know what everyone's sort of ginger levels are.
Yeah. Yes, actually, we will be posting the recipes tomorrow. So.
Yeah. And the other thing that Eva recommended was a dash of jalapeno.
Oh yeah, I made a jalapeno margarita the other day. Do you reckon it's this?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I do ginger and
but
chili.
No, the reason I said this is because a lot of the super spicy ginger beers that you see going around actually use a dash of chili oil.
I reckon it has some jalapeno almost from Thailand. Just let Mexico look.
But I have made this
Yeah,
recipe
jalapeno's
with a dash of jalapeno Tabasco. So it's kind of mild. And you only need 1 dash.
But we'll just have to make jalapeno margaritas.
Oh,
That'll be another.
never
thing.
gonna say no.
Oh, yeah. That's the bomb. That is definitely a winter margarita. I like that a lot. I
Oh,
wish I had a cold to fix, really.
no,
So you have a
I
reason
don't
to
need a
drink
cold to be drinking that.
No.
No. Just good for you. Yeah, do we want to be drinking anyway?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
everywhere.
Absolutely
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Absolutely everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
like
the other
that.
thing. A lot of people are a bit apprehensive about margaritas because they are not traditional, since about the 70s, have been popularized using low alcohol and high sugar content triple sec.
Yeah, and they're like slushies as well. They're not very
We
nice.
use Cointreau, which is traditional,
Yeah.
and a traditional margarita uses 2 shots of tequila, a shot of Cointreau, and a shot of lime juice. There's no added sugar, and it's pretty high ABV and pretty sharp, pretty punchy. That scared a couple of people away, and they wanted something cheaper than Cointreau for bars, and they substituted triple sec, in which any orange liqueur is fine. That's actually standard to use for a margarita. But when you swap Cointreau, which is 40%, for something of the same sugar content at 14%,
Yeah. Okay.
or up
Yeah.
to 20%, you get a softer, sweeter cocktail.
Yeah.
And a lot of bars won't use 2 shots of tequila, they'll use 1.5 and then add sugar syrup on top.
Yeah.
So
It becomes.
the really sweet frozen margaritas that a lot of people got turned off by aren't what the margarita should be. The margarita should actually traditionally be 3 shots of spirit.
Yeah.
It's 2 tequila, 1 Cointreau, so it should be 3 standard drinks in a glass. Usually.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's not the kind of thing you should have too many of.
Wine please.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't.
Oh,
You can't.
you can.
So, yeah.
That just sounds like a challenge.
Gauntlet thrown down.
There it is.
Golden.
You can't.
That's
No,
it.
nothing to you,
It's a
try.
very adaptable recipe. If you don't like margaritas, you can do something that'll make you like it.
Yeah. Okay.
like drinking more.
Until you get over it.
Also, traditionally margaritas are used, have often been made with cheap white tequila. If you want a hangover, drink cheap tequila.
Yes.
The reason people don't like tequila is because they do tequila shots, and every time tequila shots are poured, it is cheap white tequila.
1 tequila, 2
And then you
tequila,
take it
3
with
tequila
salt.
floor.
So if you like salt on the rim of your margarita, go to town, but just be wary. Salt dehydrates you. It is adding to the tequila hangover that makes you.
That is coming. That is coming to get you.
So a lot of the time, if someone says they don't like tequila, I say, how have you had it? And they've said every time that they've had tequila, salt has been involved.
Yeah, okay, right.
Awesome. Well, that was very
Yeah,
nice. Thank you very much.
Have enough of that with enough salt, you know, curdle it down.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you just have to drink more to, like, bring it.
So
Yeah.
that being said,
I've
we've
never
actually-
liked salt with tequila.
We've actually not
With the-
used a white tequila, we've used reposado, so it is a rested tequila. It's less aggressive, it's less chemical, a little bit softer. I've even gone as far as to make margaritas with añejo or extra añejo, so like properly aged tequila. Just juicy, delicious.
I think a repo's a bit.
Repo's good.
Yeah.
So we use Escalon Reposado as our house tequila, and I've yet to find a cocktail. that
And if
doesn't
you
work.
haven't seen much of that, we did a tasting of aged. We did a tasting
Yeah,
of,
Repo and then you.
of Reposado and Añejo last year, so it'll be there on FB and YouTube. So check it out.
Definitely one of my favourite cocktail tequilas.
Nice. All right. Anything else we want to say about the cocktails?
No. Yum.
Yum.
Tasty. We like
So
it.
jalapeno margarita video will be coming up shortly.
And another nutty whiskey yummy cocktail.
Yeah.
You'll see it.
That being said, we are also, fingers crossed, planning some in-store tastings again.
Yeah.
We had to dust them off. We had all these grand plans and everything's sort of got.
Well, everybody's had grand plans. We've had to.
Until
pivot.
before lockdown was announced, we were about to release a schedule of really big, important, amazing in-store tastings. That's obviously been delayed. We're
But they're
waiting
coming.
To find out what restrictions happen, but they are happening. So there'll be some really cool, exciting, fun in-store tastings coming up.
Well, given we did so much great planning, got so excited about these great tasting we have in mind, we've got to do this. It's the question.
Oh, yeah.
When we get all
Yeah.
the.
But yeah, we'll keep you posted.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Nice.
Woo!
Yeah, beautiful. See you next time.
Awesome. See you soon. We'll let you know what's happening.
Bye, kids.
Bye, guys. Stay safe. Drink up.